Cool. Hi, I'm Shane Snipes, and you're watching Sustainable 1000 TV and radio. I'm traveling around the country doing 1,000 interviews across 48 states in about 222 days. It's been an amazing adventure, and I'm here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. That's right, Wisconsin, as they say. And Minnesota, I almost got my Minnesotas and my Wisconsins confused, which, of course, no one up here would ever do, because you guys have a lot of competition between the two states, don't you? So, it's kind of funny. I'm like, really? What do you guys compete on? Who can raise the most cows? Or like, who? I'm always like, huh? What do you, our cheese is better than your cheese. So, but I'm really excited to have as my guest to chat with us live today a high school student who's really taken it on himself to make changes and create something that can incentivize people to recycle. And I never thought, one individual might jump into his garage and start building something that can have a net effect in his school and a big change with his community. So he's been working on this now for quite a few months, right?
Yeah, it's been almost a year now.
Yeah, a year. So this is an idea that's incubated in his head. He came up with it. And I'm talking here with Patrick Stoddard. And Patrick, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me on, Shane.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you.
An honor.
Yeah, so as one of the inspirations that I see around, do you ever find that kids around your age don't necessarily get recycling, don't really understand it?
From what I've observed, most people don't see the immediate benefit. A lot of people my age are motivated by the immediate. There's a stereotype that teenagers are impulsive, and that is somewhat true in a lot of cases.
Right.
And from what I observed, with recycling, the incentive is long-term. It's almost completely long-term. And I wanted to create a project that benefited more in the short term, and came to them. So.
Yeah, and have you thought about using tweets, since I know, and texts and stuff like that? Because I know that you guys probably have. How many texts do you send per month?
Oh, it's probably over 1,000. So
I have a friend in California who has a daughter and a couple of other kids too, and they send each more than 10,000 texts per month.
Wow.
So it's literally that's what you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I think they literally like, hi, and then the next day is, how are you? And the next text is, so they literally carry on a conversation with each other. So do you find that, what do you think the best way to reach them is?
It's hard to say, because there are some that just aren't willing to listen whatsoever. But there are some that are very involved, or at least semi-involved in school. And my idea was find a way to weave that into the picture of recycling, so that the clubs, the organizations that they enjoy, that they get benefit out of, that they spend their time doing, could benefit from their immediate actions of recycling.
Yeah.
And I guess social networking is extremely powerful, but that still doesn't, not everyone is on the social network. Not everyone is on Facebook. Not everyone is doing this. Not everyone's doing that. And so I think there needs to be a physical presence in their lives too. There's a trash can right here that's waiting for you to recycle.
Right.
And gives you feedback on how you're doing. So.
All right. So I'm really interested to discover exactly how it works. We've actually got it back here. I know it looks like a regular trash can, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tip it on its side, and I'm going to let Patrick talk about what it is and how it works. All right. So let's do that right now, actually. So if we take it like this, and we kind of show it to folks what it looks like. So walk them through, have a seat, and just walk them through kind of what that looks like.
Okay, so what we've got right here, we've got an LCD display. It's just 4 lines by 16 characters, or 20 characters, sorry. A numeric keypad, just like what you see on a standard telephone. And then a little catcher that it comes right through this hole, so that when you set a can on top of it, the trash can actually detects if you place an aluminum can in. And if it detects that it's an aluminum can versus a plastic can or whatnot, it will decide whether to let it into the can or not. Upon it receiving the can into the trash bin or the receptacle, the screen will light up and ask you for a 4-digit number that is associated with any school, organization, club, community charity that could benefit from receiving a small donation of like 3 or 4 cents, whatever the aluminum in the can is worth. You enter that number, press pound. It will ask you to confirm by displaying a textual representation of the name rather than just a 4-digit number. You press pound again, and it stores it to a small memory chip like what you see in a digital camera, which will later be probably pulled out by a school janitor or whoever would be organizing this and getting these into schools, and takes the cans to the recycling company, gets the money for it, and then hands out the money accordingly to, by which groups got how many cans. So
Yeah. So for you, when you came up with this idea, and now that I understand it even better, like how it actually detects what it is. It looks in the area of what you've given. So you've got your aluminum can there. Does it deal with plastic? Does it work with plastic?
it doesn't work with plastic, unfortunately.
Mhm.
That is something that I want to work on.
Yeah.
The hard part is that aluminum tends to be more valuable than plastic.
Right.
And there's also a lot of aluminum buyback programs in communities from recycling centers.
Right.
Not as much with plastic.
Sure.
And the energy savings with aluminum are actually quite a bit higher than plastic, so people are more likely to. It's a more sought after.
Right.
material,
Right.
So.
I could see a couple of things working well too in conjunction with this is having your plastic recycling receptacle next to it, or like a
Mhm.
different shape
Yeah.
that says like, this is X. Of course, people are going to want to drink more aluminum cans.
Yeah.
The only
Unfortunately.
problem with that would be people would be like, well, I'm not getting paid for my plastic, but I am getting paid for my aluminum.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start drinking more pop out of my soda cans.
Yeah.
Out of aluminum cans. So from your perspective, what do you think the net benefit of this is going to be?
I see my main goal is to ultimately create energy savings, because mining bauxite ore is so much more energy intensive than just using recycled aluminum. I mean, I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that recycling aluminum cans uses 95% less energy than creating new ones just out of raw mined aluminum.
Sure. I know it's a lot larger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a pretty big number.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of savings there.
Mhm.
Well, we'll record one more quick segment with all your questions coming through via Twitter and Facebook and all these other things in just a moment. Right now I'm going to save this so we can push it out to YouTube sooner rather than later. So we'll be right back after this.